Welcome to the Spinning Our Gears podcast. Before we begin, a quick reminder. All views, issues, and opinions are solely those of the hosts and their guests and do not reflect the opinions or positions of any department, agency, city, county, municipality, state, or country, or any other organization. This show is rated E for explicit. Listening and viewer discretion is highly advised. Spinning Our Gears is a law enforcement leadership and mental health podcast. We confront the issues and conversations others are afraid to deal with. Leadership failures, the culture within law enforcement, accountability, and the realities of life on and off the job. You can find us on YouTube, all of the major podcasting platforms and social media outlets, as well as online at spinningourgears.com. And now, without further fanfare, this is the Spinning Our Gears podcast.
Spinning our gears. Admin talks and broken plans, doing the best that we can. Jokes on shift, truth off mic, trying to live a normal life. Mental health ain't weakness, no, it's the stuff we learn as we go. Say it out loud, make it clear, this job don't own us here. So tune it in, don't disappear when it all gets heavy here. Real talk, real voices clear, spinning our gears, podcast is here.
What is going on, Warriors, and welcome back to another episode of the Spinning Our Gears podcast. It is Turk. As you guys can see, I am the only one in studio today. We had a guest lined up and some things fell through, but the bottom line is we said we were going to put episodes out every 2 weeks, so we're going to make sure that gets accomplished today. I've got some content for you, but before we jump into all that, I want to remind you the opening song that you heard is our official theme song. It was made by Monsters Unleashed. They can be found over at YouTube. I highly suggest checking out some of the cool things they have going on over there. All right, let's jump into it today. We're going to do a little shorter episode. Like I talked about, I want to just make sure we get some stuff out there. But at the same time, one of our good friends, G, over at the EMS Lounge, he's been putting out some short episodes, and I think maybe that goes over a little bit better. Some shorter content that doesn't necessarily require you to set an hour aside to get things done. So I figure we're going to do this little one here. It's actually going to have some video. The previous Alpha Charlies we used to do, I think, were only audio. So the fact that we're going to have a little bit of video here, I think, might help out a little bit. I want to cover kind of what we were going to cover in this episode, and I think we'll go into long form with some guests and with some co-hosts as well. But I want to cover kind of a visual aid for what we were going to talk about. And that's the fact that I'm getting kind of tired of the imposters in uniform. Not imposters on the throne, but actual imposters in the uniform. It seems like looking around these days, watching videos, having interactions, just the interactions that I had when I was still in the career field, there are a lot of people that are putting on that uniform for the wrong reasons. They're doing it for chasing clout. They're doing it for some sort of social status out there. They're maybe doing it for the paycheck, but they're not doing it for the right reasons. In the first responder world, it is a very dangerous world. Whether you're police, you're fire, you're EMS, obviously you put your life on the line every single day. But the caveat to that is you are putting your brothers and sisters' lives on the line as well, and the citizens that you interact with every single day. All of those lives are in your hands, and this career field needs to be taken seriously because of that. And the more and more that I look around, the more examples that I get, it's not being taken seriously. Now, I've pulled tons and tons of video clips, audio clips, stories of examples of people who do not take this seriously anymore. You can talk about hiring standards. You can talk about IA standards, the good old boy system. The fact of the matter is there are too many people that are allowed to get into this career field that should have nothing to do with it. They shouldn't be a part of it at all. This video that I'm going to play here that we're going to break down is A video that I'm sure a lot of you have seen. It's been around for a little bit, but it kind of encapsulates what I talk about right here. These are the type of things that happen when you do not take this career field seriously. And I don't know the individuals involved in this. It happened states away from me. But when we break this down and we see what took place, it's just going to show that things were not taken seriously. Not taken as seriously as they used to be taken when I first got in, for sure. And I'm sure even less seriously than 10, 15, 20 years ago. All right, so like I said, you guys have probably seen this one several times. You probably made jokes about it like I have, but I think it's important that we go over this and break it down and show not just how bad it was on the face value, but how so many things broke down and how so many individuals didn't step up to get the job done, and why it seems like there are more and more imposters wearing this uniform. This video takes place in Pasadena, California. You guys already know what's coming here. You've got a bunch of individuals who decided they're going to horseplay, as they called it. Now, first and foremost, the issues we have here, not just one officer pulling his gun, horseplaying, as he likes to say, pointing it at the other officer in the car. You got a guy right here who could have stopped all of this. Could have voiced concern, could have stopped the entire issue from happening, could have said, hey, that's not okay, could have thrown his hands up to make sure the other person doesn't do anything in the car, but instead he sits back, chomping his gum, and he smiles. Complacency kills. Being part of the good old boy system kills. Joking around and laughing kills. This guy just sat here, smiled, laughed, did nothing about it. And now we're going to see what happens. For those of you who have not watched this video before, yes, that is in fact a round going through the window, because what happened was the police officer behind the steering wheel pulled his gun and just shot his buddy in the shoulder. They decided they were going to, again, quote unquote, horseplay around with one another, point guns at one another, and fine motor skills took over, and this officer got shot, which tells me there are a lot of different things that broke down here, a lot of different issues, a lot of different training standards that we have problems with. Clearly, the officer behind the wheel pulled his gun out and had his finger on the trigger. There's no other way that gun goes off unless he's got his finger on the trigger. These are basic firearm rules. Basic issues that we deal with every single time we get on the line. And we'll break that down here in a second, but I want to play the rest of the video. So the officer gets shot in the shoulder, and immediately, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Other officers are rushing up to try to help him, but we're not doing anything. We're just holding on to him. The officer that gets shot, that initiated the horseplay, understandably is freaking out a little bit. However, I give that caveat. However, what if this was a shooting involved with a suspect? What if a wanted felon pulls a gun and shoots this officer, and he responds like this? We were taught from day one, you need to have a certain mindset. You need to have your you need to have your head screwed on tight and prepared for the worst things to happen. As things progressed and evolved in the career field, we started getting new and improved equipment to take care of ourselves and others if we are involved in a situation like this, and we are taught to administer that equipment to ourselves or to render aid to our buddies. That's not happening here. The officer's freaking out, losing his mind that he's been shot. No one really steps up, as you see as we move forward here. No one really steps up to take control over the situation. I don't think that anyone told him to. I think he just took it upon himself to sit down, which is okay. Obviously, this isn't a shootout situation. I should go back and cover that. This isn't a suspect shooting at you. Different situation. but someone needs to step up and take control. The concern that I have, not only with this officer completely losing his mind, is if this was a shootout, if this was a situation with a suspect, you have multiple officers around here, and no one can step up and lead the scene. No one can step up and take control over what's happening, or try to calm people down, or try to put things into a series of events in order to take control of things and make sure that everyone is okay. So we're standing around, walking around, no urgency. No one's calling out orders. No one's telling other officers what to do. We have an officer who's been shot sitting on the ground, another officer hovering over him. It appears to be trying to find out where the wound is at, trying to maybe reach through the uniform and the vest. We have two girls here just sitting around. And I should note, I don't know if this officer who's checking on the coworker was the one behind the steering wheel or not, but kind of beyond that. We've got two female officers just standing around, gawking and looking. This male officer who thought everything was funny to begin with, just walking around, fiddling around with his keys. You're going to see how bad this gets here in a second. Again, standing around. We're rummaging through our bag. I'm assuming he's looking for a trauma kit or for a tourniquet or something like that. The officer who's hovering over the injured officer is at least trying to administer some sort of aid. But big dude back here in the back of his Explorer is looking for something. Again, I'm going to assume that it's a trauma kit or a tourniquet or something along those lines, something to try to start administering aid to his coworker. Here's the problem that I have with that. Where is it? Where is it? For those of you who carry these things on you, we've talked about this before, having tools on a tool belt or tools in a bag don't accomplish anything if you don't know where they are and you don't know how to use them. I knew where my tourniquet was at all times. I knew how to use it. I knew where my first aid kit was. I knew how to get to it, how to administer it. I knew if my dog went down, I had a special first aid kit for canines, and I knew how to use it. I knew how to administer it. This guy's lazily walking around, I'm assuming looking for his med kit, can't find it. That thing should be out already, should be on the ground, and should be ready to use. But it gets worse. We're going to continue on here. All right, so one female officer completely runs away. I don't know where she went. I don't know what her job was, if she was told to do something. Second female officer gets her phone out. I'm assuming to call dispatch, but let's take a look here. Okay, so we did. We got some trauma gear to take over to the injured officer. We're still kind of fumbling around with it. Female officer dicks around on her phone for 15 seconds trying to pull up, I don't know, the passcode as well as maybe the phone number to dispatch. Here's the problem that I have with that. Okay, we also see second female officer come back with some aiding equipment. The problem that I have with all of this is the lack of quickness, the lack of urgency. We're getting on our phone dialing dispatch, I'm assuming because you want to keep things quiet. You all have something on your vest. Every single one of you. Maybe Pasadena, you have to get it checked out. Maybe these guys are pre or post shift and they don't have it on them at the time, but you certainly have it in your car. It's called a radio. You find that radio, you get on there, you notify dispatch what's going on in your location. You don't dick around with your phone trying to find the phone number to dispatch or whoever she's trying. She could be calling a supervisor for all I know. I have no clue who she's actually calling because there's no audio to this clip. But there's no urgency here. A coworker, a brother in uniform, just got shot. The other concern that I would have, if I was these females in the background, you hear a round go off, they didn't see the horseplay taking place. I'd be a little bit concerned that maybe there was an active shooter on site trying to ambush officers. As you saw at the beginning of the clip, it is an open parking lot where these cars are at. My first concern would be, where's the shooter? There was no urgency whatsoever. Everyone just kind of wandered over to see what's going on. That really concerns me with the training standards and what may or may not have happened at this department previous days, months, years to get to this complacency level. We're going to finish out the clip here. Again, we are obtaining first aid items. Not really sure what a 4x4 square is going to do for you. I think we're going to be looking for something to pack in there. It looked like he got shot in the shoulder, so a tourniquet doesn't really come into play, but I don't think a 4x4 square is going to do much. I really don't see any sort of instructions being given, requests being made for what we need to get. A lot of people just standing around, no one helping out. Here's an idea. Get the guy's shirt and vest off so we can address what's going on. Doesn't happen. Just a real lackadaisical environment. The one female got off of her phone, so now we have no communication taking place. We just have 4 people standing around doing a whole lot of nothing. Mind you, we are 2 minutes into this incident. Can you imagine if he'd been shot somewhere more vital? 2 minutes is a very long time. We're just continuing along, standing around. We're playing with our belt, not sure what we're doing. Looking around, who saw, what's going on. These are serious issues when it comes to the mindset of this career field. It is a very dangerous career field. Continuing to render aid. I believe that's the rest of the video is rendering aid until someone gets here. Skip around just a little bit. Oh, finally a supervisor gets on scene. 3 or 4 other dudes show up. They all have, let's just say it, gray hair. Probably have some time on. They're more concerned about what's happening, what took place, who's going to get in trouble. They're all gawking at what happened. No one's stepping up to help out. I think that's about all we really need to cover here with this video. Just an example of the issues that we have, an example of what I'm talking about when it comes to imposters in the uniform. It is a real problem in this career field right now. I know that there are individuals out there who are still taking it seriously, who are still training, who are still putting in the effort to get the job done every day, but we're seeing more and more and more of this. Individuals who got into it because they thought it was going to be cool, because they thought having a gun on their side was cool that they could horseplay with, not taking into account the bad things that could happen, not playing scenarios out in their mind, not being prepared to take on a medical emergency like this. Even though it was a mistake, even though it never should have happened, they weren't prepared to handle this. And if you go back, I talked about the concern with the training, the concern with who knows what has taken place in this police department. What I'm getting at there is a couple of different things. First and foremost, how many NDs, negligent discharges, have they had at this department? To the point where everyone is so immune to it. There's another clip that I watched. I don't know if this was law enforcement or military, but individuals clearing his rifle in a clearing barrel and cranks a round off. No one had any urgency. They all looked pissed off. They all looked upset, like, here we go again, and all walked away. Then clearly, in that situation, there had been multiple NDs. They were just used to someone accidentally cranking a round off, and I'm wondering if that's what's taking place here. I'd love to find the information, administrative files for this police department. How many NDs have taken place over the last 6 months, 5 years, to the point where officers are just standing around, not concerned that it could be a suspect breaking into their area trying to ambush them, just standing around. It is what it is. And then it goes further to the fact that they were brazen enough and they were okay enough to pull their firearms and point at one another and laugh about it until someone got shot. What are the 4 basic rules of firearm safety? This is something that should be harped on every single day at the range. I know it's harped on at the academy. Treat every gun like it's loaded. They're not treating those guns with respect at all. Not one bit by doing what they did. Only point at something you want to destroy or are willing to destroy. That didn't take place either. Clearly did not take place at all. You're pointing guns at one another. Are you ready to destroy what's around you? Keep your finger off the trigger. Well, again, like I said, clearly the guy in the squad car did not keep his finger off the trigger. Because if he had, this incident wouldn't have taken place. We may not have known about these 2 officers pointing guns at one another, which is a huge issue, but one officer wouldn't have been shot. and then know what's around your target, what's behind your target. Clearly didn't take that into account either. You've got 3 other officers standing around who, if you're that negligent with your firearm and you're that bad at what you do and you've got your finger on the trigger all the time, even unholstering and bringing the gun up could have shot any one of them. Again, I talk about that officer was shot in the shoulder, and luckily shot in the shoulder, as bad as that sounds. Could have been head, neck, anywhere else where he could have died within that 2 minutes where they finally rendered aid. These are the problems that I talk about. People not taking this stuff seriously. Ironically, and it's hard to look at this video because I just went to an event. I just went to a shooting event with coworkers where we had a range day, and I jumped down one of my coworkers for flagging the line with an open weapon. Still had a problem with it. Still flagged the line, wasn't paying attention, wasn't being responsible, and I lost my mind on him. I went off on him, yelled at him in front of the group, made sure they got the point that we don't do that. And I know they took it personally. Apologies were made afterwards. Another coworker went up and said, listen, you just don't understand. Military and law enforcement have a different mindset when it comes to firearms. Wasn't trying to harp on you as a personal dig, just the fact that what you did doesn't jive with military and law enforcement. How do you say that, and how do you back that up when there's videos like this out there? When you have officers pointing and shooting loaded firearms at one another. Then once the incident takes place, just standing around and gawking. Not jumping to action, not jumping to render aid. This video has a lot of views, has a lot of laughs, but unfortunately it's very, very damning to this career field, to this profession. I can only imagine what's going to happen in the next couple of years, especially for that department. If they ever get involved in a shooting, they're going to be in trouble. It wasn't just those 2 officers that were on the chopping block for what they did. I would assume that every single officer in that parking ramp, the way they responded, probably faced some sort of disciplinary action. The instructors, the firearm instructors, probably faced some sort of disciplinary action. Supervisors as well. Although the supervisors weren't on scene, you can't control everything your guys are going to do, but clearly the mindset is not there the way that it should be. Big problems. You put that uniform on, you put that badge on, you need to be prepared for what's going to happen. You need to take it seriously. And it's the same for police, fire, and EMS. But unfortunately, we have more and more individuals like this putting the uniform on because it's playtime. We're playing cops and putting a costume on, and that's all it is. And I have a huge problem with that. No, I am no longer in the career field, but I still left a legacy there while I was there. I still bled, cried, sweat, put a lot of effort into it. I'm still affected by how this career field is taken and how individuals act in the career field. Unfortunately, that's all they're doing right now is acting. There's a lot of people just acting. A lot of people looking for clout. A lot of people looking for the next big thing. They're looking for social notoriety. And we'll dive into that later on. I've got other side topics with this imposter syndrome that I want to cover. I know that Erica wants to cover it as well. She's got some things she wants to talk about. Unfortunately, she was sick today, could not make it. Kenyon and Swagger were both tied up as well. Kind of just this perfect storm of what took place. But like I said, I wanted to get a video out. I feel like this topic is important enough that I needed to get it out now. Kind of let you guys know where we're going over the next several months. I think we're going to do more breakdowns like this with videos that we're seeing. Kind of trying to find the root cause of what's causing the issues, what could have broken down, what could have been done better. In this case, man, it's a mindset. If those 4 officers, 5 officers had a different mindset of not jacking around, taking things seriously, and leaving the horseplay and the playtime for somewhere else. And this isn't the first time we've heard this. That's the other problem. I believe it was Las Vegas, maybe. I could be wrong. Several years ago, off-duty officers were having a party, drinking, having a good time. An on-duty officer goes over there to see what's going on, playing around with the gun, and someone got shot. It's not the first time we've seen this. I don't get it. I don't understand the lack of respect for a firearm, the lack of respect for the career field, and the lack of respect for the mindset that it takes to be a good cop. It is and it isn't that hard. It's not that hard to take things seriously. It is hard to live it every single day. It does have impacts on everyone who wears that badge. But it's a responsibility you take when you take your oath. You took an oath saying you were going to do things a certain way, you were going to look out for the safety of yourself and others around you, and this is not that. This is not adhering to the responsibility that you took on when you said you're going to be a first responder. There are a lot of people out there right now who need to look themselves in the mirror and need to decide, is this what's right for me or not? I can't harp on it anymore or enough. I don't want to keep rambling and saying the same thing over and over again. I think this was a good little jump into some of the things that have been bothering me lately and some of the things that I want to cover over the next several weeks, several months with new episodes. We are going to bring other guests on, so we will kind of deviate from this a little bit. Obviously, we'll still have the banter back and forth, but I do want to cover this more and more because we need to make light of it. Especially for those of you still in the career field who are taking it seriously, you should be making light of this as well. This is not okay. It's not something to joke around about. Complacency kills. It is on you to call these individuals out just as much as it is me. You're still wearing the badge. You're still going to work every day putting yourself on the line. I think that's it. I don't know if I have much more for you right now. I beat it to death a little bit. We're going to continue to cover it, like I said, later on. Some of these shorter episodes. I don't know. What do you guys like? Do you like the longer episodes or do you like the shorter ones? We don't know until you tell us. You got to go to spinningourgears.com and hit the contact us link. Send us an email and let us know whether you like the longer form or the shorter form, or just leave comments down below. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those have comment sections. Please hit the like and then hit that comment as well and let us know what you want out of us. Do you like the short form video breakdowns? Certainly we can bring more people on. We can bring the other co-hosts on. This was just, like I said, that perfect storm where we wanted to get something out. But if you like these shorter form video breakdowns, you got to let us know so we can do more of them. Yeah, it takes a little bit more work, but we'll get that accomplished. Hey, do you like the shirt? That's the other thing I should say. Do you like the shirt or do you like the book? Do you maybe want to check them out? spinningourgears.com under the merch store. That's where you find them. We've got a shirt like this where we can put your name and the logo on the back. We've got the patch logo that I think was very well received. We've got some other ones coming down the line as well. We'll put pictures up there, but you got to go to spinningourgears.com and hit the merchandise tab to get yourself some of the swag that we got going on. Not swagger. We can't pimp him out, but we can certainly pimp out the clothes. We can pimp out the stickers and the book as well. spinningourgears.com merchandise section, that's where you get it. If there's other stuff you guys want to hear, if you want us to cover other things, again, the comment section below or spinningourgears.com and the contact us link. All right, guys, I will see you around on the next one, hopefully with some other individuals, not just me, but we'll do what we got to do. Stay safe, warriors. We will get through this together.
Spinning our gears. Admin talks and broken plans, doing the best that we can. Jokes on shift, truth off mic, trying to live a normal life. Mental health ain't weakness, no, it's the stuff we learn as we go. Say it out loud, make it clear, this job don't own us here. So tune it in, don't disappear when it all gets heavy here. Real talk, real voices clear, spinning our gears, podcast is here. It's spinning our gears.